Hey, hey, hey.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, what we need out there is to kind of setting things up at the last minute, just getting in from a meeting here at the chamber, and we want to make sure that you can hear us. So can you let us know? Can you put in the comments section? We're looking at this kind of funny on our end. So can you let us know that you can indeed hear us? Please do that. And as soon as we know that, I'm not seeing it on our business page, but we're seeing it in our private group. So that's the main thing.
I'm trying to get to the business
That's
page.
okay. We just want to make sure we're on time here.
We are.
Hang on one second, folks. All right. Indeed, hear us. Okay. I can hear it on my monitor. Tene, say something.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hang on. Let me get to your voice because we got a little bit of a delay here. And we'll get there.
Good morning.
Hang on one second, folks. Well, you didn't talk long enough, but we'll see what happens.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I can hear it on my monitor. Say something.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, very good. Got confirmation there. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome into, we're back with Friday morning, 10 o'clock. Did we do Friday mornings or did we do Monday mornings today when we did this?
It was Friday.
Was it Friday? Yeah, it's been a while. So
It has
so
been a
good to
while.
see you, darling. Oh man, so good to have you out there all joining in on this day. Happy Friday to everybody out there. And we just kind of put this together at the last minute. Nothing scripted, nothing recorded, but we've been getting a lot of, emails. We talked to a lot of people all over the world. We've in some different networking groups, and they said, bring the calls back, bring the calls back, and so here we are, and we want to get right into it here. And what we want to talk about today is, this is a good time of year to talk about setting what we want to create in our lives.
Absolutely.
I have been, on my last couple podcasts, in fact, the podcast before last, because I finished a series on Wayne Dyer. I'm talking about the Genesis Frequency podcast, entering my fourth year, kind of proud of that. But I've been talking about, at the end of the year, talked about, hey, engaging that imagination, talking about setting yourself up for what you want to create in 2022. And tonight you talk about goals and achievement all the time. I know your specialty is customer service amongst many other things, but this is a good time of year, and us starting this all over again is a good time to talk about moving from our goals and decisions into intention, because it's a little bit different, because I look at it as moving from goals to intention to commitment. Intention and commitment kind of go hand in hand, I think. But why don't you talk for a minute about goals when you talk to people, because you do it in such an eloquent way. Because we don't, if when you work with us, we don't talk about goals in the way that, something I already know how to do. I did it before. I just want to do it again. And I got to give myself that push. Anybody can do that. We don't talk about goals, the ones that, well, I think I could probably do that. I researched it, and if I put it together, I'll let you take it from there, because we talk about the ones that get you so excited that they scare you and excite you at the same time. So talk a little bit about that. And I want to talk about some of the things that happened today. So leave me a little bit of space.
Well, we should probably talk about what happened today.
Well, I want to do that at the end, because I'm going to tie it together and put a bow on it.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to talk about goals, but I'm also going to, and we are going to talk about intention, but I want to read the definition, because, when you start anything that you do, you should probably have a really clear cut understanding of what it is. So let's just for a second, we are going to just, and this is off the cuff, we're going to type in the definition that is out there in the dictionary of what a goal is. And it, of course, it has something to do with football and soccer and rugby and hockey, but that's not what we're talking about, what we are talking about. The second definition of a goal, according to the dictionary, is the object of a person's ambition or effort, an aim or a desired result. Like going to, and they have in here, going to law school has become the most important goal in his life. That was the example that's in there. The way we talk about goals are completely different. In the business world, they will talk about SMART goals, goals that are measurable and achievable. And don't get me wrong, those are goals that are absolutely that way, that formula of getting to your goal is absolutely valid, but it has its place. The type of goal that we're talking about, which really goes fused, it is fused into the SMART goals that we hear about within the business community. It's a way of setting a goal that is progressive, a worthy goal. What is a worthy goal? A worthy goal is something that really is worthy of you taking your time and energy to put forth the effort to manifesting. That's what a worthy goal is. Success is the realization of a worthy ideal.
Yeah, I like to really expand on that worthiness, because worthy goal provides you some growth. It's going to provide you some growth, perhaps physically, but mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And that's why we're looking to it. And plus, it's going to be worthy because it's going to do something. What is it going to do? It's going to satisfy the inner longing and discontent that so many people we talk to have been carrying around with them for so long. Go ahead. I tend to do that. I interrupt a lot.
But no, yeah, that's what we do. We're a team.
Yeah, I know. We're passionate about it. So it's
really
like,
are.
oh, wait, tell them this.
So now I want to also go into intention. Now, when you look up the definition of intention, my gosh, there's intention, intentionality. There's in being intentional. Oh my gosh, the words that go into what intentional is. You in the legal realm, you've got criminal intent, the intent of something, of someone's mindset.
Do you have that up on your phone on dictionary right now?
I do.
How many different definitions are there
Oh my
of intention?
God. Well, I earlier, or I should say yesterday earlier, I read it, and I think there were 6 or 7 different definitions of intentional.
Yeah.
Because you have intentional, then you have intentionality.
Yeah.
And then it's all the psychology of it all. And so really what it's saying is that, and what we're going to concentrate on today is the being in the intention that is correlated to your beliefs and your desires, of how that manifests, to be intentional about what it is that you want. So what am I saying? When you set a goal, sometimes people can say, yes, I want to do A, B, or C. And they will put a goal on a calendar, put something in their head, but they really have no intention to go after it. Because again, if I go back to explain what really an ABC and type goal concept is, an A goal is something that you just write a to-do list for. It's like going to the grocery store. A B goal is a goal that you think if you got all of the pieces of the puzzle right, you might be able to accomplish it, but you really just have no attachment to it. So there's no feeling nature really attached to it. It's just there. The C goal is the goal that you're really feeling on the inside of you, that, oh man, I really want that. You think about it, you feel about it all of the time, you speak about it, you dream about it, you can eat it, smell it, taste it, touch it. That's the type of goal that you want to go after. You may not know how to do it, and the how does not matter. And when we
None of our business.
None of our business.
None of our business.
And when we use the word how, we don't use it in the same way that we have been conditioned all of our lives to use the word how. We're using it in the way of saying, this is the formula. So the how that we're talking about is the formula, tried and true formula that have been not locked up in books for ever and ever and ever. And it's been just, it's come out bit by bit throughout the years from people who are saying, we should tell everybody how to do this. And that's what it is. But when you set an intention is different. You're basically, I think I got this illustration. I'm going to give you an example.
Yeah, I got one just came to me
balloon.
after yours.
A balloon. You pick up a balloon. Your intention is going to be to blow up the balloon. If you just have the balloon in front of you, oh, perfect. Yes, your intention is to blow it up because you want to probably use it to decorate. Oh, I love those. So the intention is you're putting intention, you're putting energy, that transformative energy behind it. And it's going to blow up and become just what you want it to be, a true inflated balloon. That's what it is with our goals and our intentions. Whatever your goal is, you got to put something behind it. You've got to have that transformative energy behind it. Later on, I will read for everybody something that I read in an article that you passed on to me. I think I wrote to you about it last night. Okay. You were already asleep.
I had something just dropped in. You just froze for a minute. I had something just drop in just now. First of all, I want to say hi to JJ out there.
Oh, hi, JJ.
I want to say hi to Trixie.
Hi,
Trixie came on board. And we have a lot of people that message us that said they're going to be chiming in later because they have something to do, or maybe they're at work later. So this is going to stay up here. The recording's going to stay up here so people can catch it when it's convenient for them. But you know what came up for me? And I got back into this at my podcast. And at the end of the year, I do morning inspiration on my ministry sites. I've been doing some daily stuff on the platform that we're on now. And again, in the 4th year of the Genesis frequency, talking about this, I was talking about the goals, and I was talking about everything in our imagination, to engage that imagination again, to take it down off the shelf, like we were little kids. Why like little kids? Because when we were little kids, we thought from that place of spaciousness. We didn't have any limitation. And dating myself, going back to when we were kids, we didn't need anything else. We didn't need a smartphone or a computer. We need maybe a cardboard box and an old blanket our mom let us play with. That cardboard box could be a spaceship. It could be a race car. It could be a fire engine. That blanket could be a cape where we could fly. And that's, that's what we had to work with. So we used that in imagination. We entered that place of spaciousness, and we created whatever we wanted to be, do, and have when we were young like that. But then we put it up on the shelf because we were conditioned to believe that, no, you can't do that because you're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're not pretty enough. All these things.
But don't forget, along with that is grown-ups don't behave like that.
Yeah, all that.
Grown-ups don't behave like that.
Well, even in school, though, when we were little, teachers would say, quit daydreaming. What's 2 + 2? It's 4. I told you that a million times. I want to stop right here and back up. You did the illustration about with a balloon, and I love that, because what we're doing, what I wanted to do is segue from all those thoughts, because I told people to make a list of everything they want in their lives. Consider everything physically, maybe with health and physical fitness, maybe their weight, maybe mentally. How about, maybe your memory? You want to work on your memory. You want to read more. You want to do this or whatever you want to be, do, and have physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and then in different areas of your life. I know you talk about this a lot. We talk about relationships, maybe improving relationships within family, or maybe improving the relationship with a significant other, or finding that significant other. A lot of people we talk to want to find the one, that forever partner. Or what about with your vocation and your career? What do you want with that? What's the biggest, greatest ambition? So I tell everybody to make a list of all those things and then leave it alone. Walk away for 24 hours and then come on back, look at that list and see which one speaks to you the loudest.
Right.
Okay, the one that's speaking to you the loudest is really calling out to that longing and discontent. Longing and discontent say, hey, notice me, that's the one, do this. We want to pay attention to what we're passionate about. So how's this for intention today? Never talked about this before, but I got it from you when you were talking. So we take that from that list, from all these things that we're thinking about, because when you and I work with people, we encourage people to pick one thing at a time,
Yes.
because we don't want to be all over the place.
Exactly.
Or we might pick a personal and a professional goal or intention. So what if we take all these things that are floating around up here that don't really do nothing? We just think about it. They might just be wishes, but we take one and we put it, I love camping, we
Yes.
put it in the tent.
I
In
love that.
tent, right? That's we're
In
focusing
tent,
on
I
it. Look at my
get it.
fingers. My fingers are going up.
I do.
We move
see
it to our heart. We're in tent.
In
In
tent.
tent. In tent. And that becomes our intention. Intention. That's where we place our what? Our attention.
A focus.
Right?
Yes.
That's where we gather in inspiration
Mhm.
to get behind, to support that tent. It becomes the poles of the tent.
Yes.
And we don't have to know how. And we're going to talk about, that's why I wanted to talk about today, because that's what you and I did. We refreshed
Yes.
and got in alignment with our intention for 22. And magically, miraculously, things start to happen. That's what we tell people. Let you finish. I'll collect my thoughts, finish your thought. And then I want to get into how this comes together, because it's magical. I know there's some people out there that want to work with us and how they can quickly move into doing that. And I want to talk about that a little bit. And we could just go on and on forever. We don't want to do this for 3 hours.
Right. Well, we probably could. I bet people would want to hear us for 3 hours. But you know what? I know somebody who really wants a particular position. And I've been talking to her, and she really, really wants it. And this brings up the counter, I can't even say it right now, the counter intention.
Yeah, well, I want to talk about that too.
Mhm. I know. There's someone who really wants something. She wants it really badly. I've spoken to her. She says, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to have. But then she's talking herself out of it, because she's thinking, yeah, but I've got this and I've got that. All of the outside circumstances are getting to her, of saying the reason she's talking herself out of it, even though she wants it. And that's that counter intention that I'm talking about. And she has to get rid of it. She's got to get rid of the counter intention. Stephen will go more into what that is and why that is and what we need to do to get rid of it later. But when it comes to goal setting and goal achieving, you actually have to ask yourself first, what is it that you want? And then why do you want it? The why is the big deal. The why will take the intention and form it and push it. It's like a steam engine, or oh gosh, what are those little games? I can't even think of it. Maybe somebody online might know. Those little games where in the Olympics, they use the fan. It's like a fan.
No, you mean a brush curling?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they're smoothing out the ice. They're getting
They have
anything out
to
of the
do
way.
that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you have to do that in order to make it go. So the intention is to make that thing. I don't even know the game. I just know I keep watching
Yeah,
them.
it's
and
called
they have to
curling.
get curlings, and they have to get to the finish line. I don't know all of the particulars, but their intention is you've got to know how to, I guess, shave the ice and get the air going, because isn't it momentum as well? With the
Yeah,
curling?
momentum, direction. That's a good analogy. And we could look at that with any sports. Football's winding down, but winding up. We're getting into Super Bowl time and
Oh,
playoffs and all that. Teams have an intention. When they step on the field, they got small intentions. They want to go 10 yards to get another first down. It's another set of 4 downs. That's their intention. But their big dream goal is to get, or their medium term goal is to get a touchdown. Their big dream goal is the Super Bowl, right? They want to win that. They don't want to just get there. They want to win the Super Bowl. And the intention is saying, this is it. We're putting that in we looked at that list, and I think before it goes in the tent and becomes intention, we do want to identify that why.
Yes.
And I can put that in real practical terms that I think a lot of people could understand, is if you're a bride or a groom, we'll be politically correct here and say say it's January now and you're getting married in August and you're not at maybe the weight that you want to be, or guys, maybe you don't have the muscles that you want to have, or whatever it is that you want to change physically. You set the intention, well, I'm going to lose weight, but it's different than maybe last January or the January before, because maybe you weren't even engaged, right? So maybe you just, I want to lose some weight, but then Super Bowl comes and yeah, why not? I'll have another, couple beers with the boys, and then here goes the pretzels, and here comes the nacho, and then that was really good. So the next week you're doing the same thing. But this year you're setting the intention, I'm going to lose that weight because I'm marrying my bride and I want to look good for her and for everybody that sees me. I don't want her and her family to see me marrying what I'm seeing in the mirror that I have labeled a slob, which is counter intention, by the way. So I'm setting the intention that I'm going to do this. My why has been identified. Why is my why? Because August is it. I'm getting married and I am only doing this one, and I want to look good and I want to feel good. So see, that's a why. But in anything, whatever our intention is, maybe you want to generate $100,000 by the end of this year, or $1 million by the end of this year, or $100 million by the end of this year. Maybe you want to be in a yacht by the end of this year, or a new home, or whatever it is. Identify the why, because the why, if the why is in front of you and it's significant, meaning that it's going to satisfy that longing and discontent, it's going to, like you said, it's going to push you. It's going to be the drive in you. It's going to work in combination with our mental faculty and our spiritual faculty of will to help you stay focused on that specific thing, and that's going to drive you forward. We talk about this with people in sales. Why? We don't, in every area. In customer service. What is it? Why do you want to? What do you want to be? I want to be the best of the best. That's what I want to do this year. I want to rise. I want to be known for what I do in customer service. You did that. You set that intention that I'm going to niche down and niche down and niche down what I do, and I'm going to laser focus on customer service to be the best of the best. You have your book to hold up, by the way.
I do.
and so being the best of the best, you put it down, and you got a book out there, and that's great. But the counter intention, let's talk about the counter intention.
Can you read it?
Yeah, you got to hold it close in front of you because of the backdrop. Triple double diamond customer service. See, that was her intention, to be recognized as the best in that field of customer service training.
It's like Gandhi says, I wanted to be the change. You have to be the change you want to see. So I don't like what's going on with customer service, whether it's external or internal. So I decided I should be that person that goes out there and try to and make an impact, not try, but truly make an impact in our world on how we treat each other. So,
but there you don't go from the desire, the wish, to fulfilled without setting the intention and the why to do it, like Tené modeled and demonstrated. And something happens when we do that, when we set the intention and then make a commitment. And it's usually making the commitment in front of somebody else, like Tené will have you do. If you come on board and work with us, she'll have you put your hand on your heart, even if she can't see it, your hand on your heart, stand up and say, I, Tené, commit to you that I am going to achieve that, because usually by that point we've identified a goal with somebody or a big dream, and we decided to move from wishful thinking to goal, to intention, to commitment. And a little bit about that, sometimes we talk to people. We got our premium program, our programs really run the gamut when we're working with somebody, but our flagship program is, and I'm thinking of changing the name from feeling into results with spiritual integration. But whatever it is, it's our premium program. We charge like $6,300 for that. Sometimes we get sticker shock with that. Other times people just write a check and say, okay. We even had a young kid pay cash, so you don't know. Everybody's in a different place. But I found that it's, what are we thinking? What are our paradigms? Big, little, it doesn't really exist in the universe. It does and it doesn't. That's another topic for another get together. But the point is, we realize that to some people, that's a big number. So we've rolled out, financing that everybody's approved, but we have to cover the cost of materials. And we found that people have to have some skin in the game for the get-go. So we'll charge a small deposit. And normally, we like to get what, $2,000 down or $1,500 down, but we'll go as low as $1,000 down. Now, here's the thing. People make that commitment to that, things start to show up. They show up from the energy of the commitment.
Exactly.
And then they start to become resourceful. They take pen to page, sit in the quiet. Well, how can I generate this $1,000 I need? Because I really, really, really want to do this program. I want to get all the tools, give myself every advantage I can possibly get to move forward and accomplish this goal. Well, in this day and age, with the wages are there. I mean, you can go to work at Walmart for 4 weeks and come up with $1,000.
Exactly.
I can list with people 100 things you can do to manifest $1,000
Exactly.
and then move forward from there. But that's not the point. What my point is that when we make a commitment and we set an intention, do I have it right here? Boldness has genius in it.
Oh, you're
My favorite quote.
Mhm.
And it comes from the commitment. It comes from making a decision and making a commitment. And then everything moves to support you. Everything moves. People move, the world moves, energy moves. Everything is energy. I talk about action, reaction, right? Tené and I had a meeting recently, and we got on the same page about a lot of things that we wanted to accomplish. Not that we were not on the same page,
Right.
but we tightened things up a little bit, and we set some intentions, some big goals for 2022. And let's hit the ground running. We're going to talk about this. Let's do it. So what do? We set the intention. We know that we're going to do this. We're going to accomplish it. So we create it first using the power of our imagination in our mind. What does that look like? How much is that come down to with earnings and things like that? So we set that intention, and here's an illustration of not figuring out the how. We want to do more and more corporate training. Tené wants to do more and more corporate training in the field of customer service, for instance. We went out and we did personal engagements around the holidays. One of them was at the Harley Davidson dealership, a Christmas party, and they made contacts right away like she always does. I have the face for radio and the voice for print. So we put Tené, I walk behind her a lot of times. Anyway, that's counter intention coming.
It is counter.
But the thing is, she made some contacts of people gravitated to her, and that we're in the position of being a decision maker at the Harley Davidson dealership here, and says, that's exactly what I'm looking for is customer service training. We have to talk after the first of the year. So Tené's been in conversation with that and with her around that. However, prior to doing this, we went to our Chamber of Commerce meeting, first of the year today. And it was an induction of new board of trustees, board people, and all that. And I'm hooting and hollering from the back for one reason, not because I knew who this was, but the new chairman of the board was introduced,
Yes.
and it turns out that he's the owner of that Harley Davidson dealership. All right. But that's not still why I was tooting.
No.
I didn't know him, never met him before, neither did Tené. We met people there, people that want to talk to us about doing training with them. But then he says, let me tell you a little bit about my background. And he says, I was born and raised and grew up in Detroit. And that's pretty much how Tené and I start every introduction, right? And then he starts naming things. I got the Harley bug when I was 6 years old. I was sitting at an intersection of Plymouth, or our Telegraph in Plymouth Road. I'm going, yes! And he goes, who is that out there that keeps hollering every time I mention Detroit? And I go, and because I just excited, it's like we brought Detroit down here. He was just naming everything that we talk about. In fact, he went to Catholic Central, one of my high school rivals. I went to Divine Child in Dearborn. We were 5 miles apart from each other growing up. And here he is down here creating jobs, a very successful Harley Davidson dealership. I ran up to meet him later, and we could have still been talking now because
I think they would be still
so many
talking right
things
now.
in common. But see now, but that moved in. One of my
But
first
that's
words,
not even it.
here's my wife's Tené. She's already been talking to Kate,
That's right.
who about customer service training. So now it's like we're forming a relationship with the owner of the Harley Davidson dealership. But see, that's intention, commitment, and forgetting about the how. The universe moves in to support you in that intention and commitment. None of this, you couldn't have orchestrated this. Besides that, the lady at the table that Tené was sitting next to, who we already had a conversation with from the University of Northwest Florida, says, I'm looking for someone to support me in the tourism bureau that I just became the chairman of.
And I'm like,
She hears us hooting and hollering about Detroit and Michigan, and she leans over to Tené and says, you all from Michigan? And the lead says, so am I. In fact, I tease Gus up there that just got elected because we went to the same college at different times, and it's just the synchronicities. You start to notice these from the intention and the commitment. Again, action,
don't
reaction.
forget about the guy behind us.
Oh yeah, he's got a mug Youper on it. I'm an up north Michigan guy. He's got a Youper. Youper, we call Youpers people that just live for either living up in the Upper Peninsula. Get it?
Yeah,
Youper. You call them Youpers
Youpers.
if you're from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
And I heard him and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, and I turn around, go blue. I says, oh, probably Spartans, which is Michigan State. He goes, no. No, Wolverine all the way. And it's just incredible. But that's how it works with the people we have. Boy, Trixie, are you still out there?
Oh my God.
If
let's
you're
not talk
looking in
about
and
Trixie.
listening, even if it's the recording, type in your comments, type in your names, type in your wins, type in your gratitude. We
And,
love
ty-
to
and
see
type
that.
in your questions. That's because really,
Yeah,
that's what I
because
wanna get
we
to.
don't want to be rambling about our stories, but we
Right.
want our
I
stories to
wanna
be an
know-
example. I was in a place that I didn't have two nickels to rub together for most of my life, for an incredible long period of my life, because I made really inefficient choices. Tené and I both raised in Detroit.
She's
I was in
here.
the suburbs, and
She's there.
great. Trixie is somebody that we've worked with that has taken this path with us and has made manifest things, not having any idea how stuff's showing up. It's
They
like
just
we
poof appear
still
for her.
scratch our head. How do you manifest a $10,000 kiln that fires pottery and ceramics and glass and all that?
I know.
But the stories go on and on and on and on and on when we work with people and we do this work. Well, what do you guys do? Well, we do this work. We like to say our flagship stuff revolves around radical personal and professional transformation and quantum leap goal achievement.
Mhm.
And we do this for individuals, small businesses, and corporations. And in the corporate world, we evolve that into training on corporate culture. So we run the gamut, but Tené's focus is really taking all of that and distilling it down, how it expands from customer service, because we got to have that first internally and externally. And it's just like how we are, objectively and subjectively. We're all about learning and helping people learn to live from the inside out rather than from the outside in, from conditioned responses to life and living to intentional, again, responses to life and living. Responses, not reactions, that move us each step along our way to get to what I like to call our own individual pot of gold somewhere over the rainbow, however we define that. So, any questions coming up out there tonight?
Not yet. Well, I don't know if JJ or Trixie, if either of you have a question. If you do, put it there and then we can read it. I do know that there is someone who, yet again, like a million other people, have started this new year, and today is the seventh day of the new year, and they really don't know what to do in order to not repeat the many years that have gone by of them not being able to accomplish exactly what it is that they want to do. It's it's just so interesting. It's different people, different age groups, different ethnicities, but the same issue. And that's what I guess people don't understand. Everyone's going through it all of the time until you really start to learn from and then apply from people like me and like Stephen, who really understand how to get you from where you are to where you want to be.
Hey, real quick, I don't want to interrupt again, but I want to say hi to Carla Leitner.
Oh,
Yeah,
hi.
remember Carla from Ministerial School. Sue Halen, married to a friend of mine from growing up, but Sue, if you weren't on here from the beginning, go and listen to the story about the Detroit connection. We're in Northwest Florida now, but some of the synchronicities that took place this morning were just amazing. You'll want to catch that because you'll resonate. Oh, that Gus, by the way. Oh, I already said he went to Catholic Center. I went to Divine Child. Hi, Jan Nielsen. Jan's always supportive of us. Welcome in, looking in. So,
Well, I do want to know from any and everybody out there, what you may not want to go completely on since we are Facebook Live right now, but in a general sense, where might you be stuck right now at the seventh day of the year of goal achieving and goal setting, and how that intention. I mean, it's easy to just know these words of, oh, I know what that means, a goal. I know what achieving means. I know what an intention means. But do you really know what they mean, and really know how to really propel yourself from where you are to where you want to be?
So yeah, I'd go beyond that too, because we say goal, and that's just washed.
It really is.
It's like, what is the biggest dream?
It
What
is.
is the biggest dream that
What do
you
you
have
feel
maybe
down in
given
here?
up on, or put up
Exactly.
on the shelf even, right?
Exactly.
Because that's what we do. We say, I really, really want to do this, but you know what? I'm just thinking too big. It's never going to happen. I don't
Well,
know.
the first thing
enough.
people say is, I don't have the money.
I don't have the time.
Usually, I don't have the time, or they bring their age into it, or now because of this whole pandemic, non-pandemic, then that's a reasoning. It's like there's an excuse out there for not doing whatever it is that you really want to do, and you just have to, as Stephen talked about a little bit, using your will, the power of will, not willpower. It's the mental faculty of the will to get you from where you are to where you want to be. It's just like the will, the intellectual faculty of the will is like an arrow. It's like a target, a bow and arrow, and a
bullseye.
Thank you. You see me doing this is why we work together. Oh my God, this is why we married. He knows me. Yes, it's like a bullseye, and that's what you're pointing to, and that's really what your intention is. When you pull back that arrow and you're heading towards that bullseye, that intention is going straight to where you want it to go. I hope all of these analogies really are helping you understand how to really formulate and then push it forward.
JJ, you threw something out there. How do I get past missing my goal? My intention was to join the chamber, and it didn't happen. Well, let me stop right there. Let's talk about counter intention a little bit, because you're probably wondering, what's counter intention? If I set an intention, if my intention, I know Jan's out there. Jan wrote has a great book out there. Jan, go ahead and type your book in the chat line so we can tell people about it.
Absolutely.
But if I set an intention, let's go back to the weight thing. The guy's going to get married in August, right? And he sets an intention. He wants to shed some pounds to get into his tuxedo and look great for his bride and all that kind of thing. Counter intention would be, that's my intention. I am so happy and grateful now that I weigh, let's use 180 pounds by my wedding date of August 14th. And that's his intention, right? And he's got a why. He's identified his why. He's getting married in August, right? Counter intention is he's doing that work in the mornings. He's identified it. This is it. That's my big dream goal. I've never weighed that much, that low before, except, when I passed it on the way to the weight that I was. But then he moves on from doing that work, setting his intention, identifying his why, making the commitment to do that. But if we move through our day and our week and our month with counter intention, which you touched on a little bit today, what we're doing is we're really shooting ourselves in a foot. Okay, great. No problem, Trixie. We'll talk soon. Counter intention would be I move through my day and I see the buddies and I say, and I high five them and they're having a beer and they say, hey, how you doing? What have you been up to? We haven't seen you, for Tuesday night buddies and beer. And he goes, oh, I'm working on the old bitter belly. I got this fat here I want to get rid of. That's counter intention because you're reinforcing what you don't want to be, do, or have in your life.
Right.
And we do that, and people, maybe they're working on achieving a certificate or a degree or some kind of continuing education units, but they'll bang them in. I say, I can do this. I set the intention. Why? Because I'm going to get more pay if I do this. But they miss a question or a problem, and they say, I am so, and you fill in the blank, because I'm not going to say them right now because I don't want to affirm that. But I think you get the picture. So now, JJ, let's just look at the way that you untangled my personal story from our friend Jan Nielsen. People, go check that out. Untangled. Jan, let us know if there's a link on Amazon where people can pick that up.
Exactly.
And you can say, folks, that you met her in here. We want to make that a bestseller. Let's make that a bestseller.
Absolutely.
Let's set that intention for you. You got to set the intention for you. Hey, and maybe it is already a bestseller. I don't want to assume anything. So JJ, let's look at your language here, because we talk a lot about communication, language, and how we form that. You have a great example of a counter intention. I passed missing my goal. Well, I would suggest, that is there a different way to look at it?
It is a different way to look at it.
That if you did not join the chamber and it was your intention to join the chamber, you didn't miss it. You just haven't achieved that goal yet.
That's right.
Now you can move the date.
Yeah.
There wasn't a deadline. You don't have to join the chamber by the end of any month or any week or end of any day. You can join the chamber wherever you want. So you didn't miss anything. If you set yourself a goal, I'm so happy and grateful, I have joined the Chamber of Commerce by the end of December. You can adjust the date. We change the goal. We change we don't change the goal. We change the plan.
Right.
And so you set yourself the intention, and it didn't happen yet. But to just put a period after happened, it didn't happen, that put some kind of counter intention behind it. That put it like there was only one window of opportunity, it shut, and it'll never be possible for me to do it again. And that's not true. That's buying into something that is false. Okay.
But I also want to add, when you may not have, or you may feel that you don't, and maybe you really don't have the money to join the chamber as a business, you can still go to activities within the chamber that cost nothing. So you're getting yourself in that energy of it. You're putting yourself there right then and there. For example, well, maybe for the first Friday coffees, I don't know how much it is if you're not a member. I don't remember, but you don't have to go every single month. You can try to go every single month, but you don't have to.
Well, I know JJ a little bit. Let me jump in there. JJ's on the board of trustees, and the board of trustees that she's a member of, that church that she belongs to, is a member of the Chamber of Commerce. So as a member of the Chamber of Commerce with that church and her being on the board of trustees, she's entitled to go as a representative of the church that she belongs to. So it's always looking at things in a different way.
So that means you can go, and then you can still.
You'd be in the energy of it. Yeah. Now you're not going to really be able to go and promote your business or what you're doing when you're representing another entity.
Right.
But when you have conversations with people and you follow up and you network and you meet people later, yeah, I'm here representing so and so, and by the way, I also do this or I do that. That's just conversational networking.
Exactly.
And then you set the attentions, just like we were talking about people that come to work with us, $1,000. Sit down and you make a list of ways that you can do that, things that you can sell. What can I do temporarily that will move me from where I am to move me into these resources and consider other resources? So great question, but just rephrase it for yourself. Don't buy into your own chatter, your own self-talks that says, I missed my goal and it didn't happen. You just formulate a different plan. You take a little tiny bit, whatever that cost is for you, and you put it aside.
Right.
Each month, that's your chamber fund, or maybe you do, like I said in the example. I wasn't talking about you, but maybe you do something for a few weeks that generates something extra for you and put it towards that.
I'm glad you said that. When I before I purchased my first house, I absolutely had no complete idea where the money was going to come from for me to get it. I just knew that I wanted a house. I knew I wanted to move out from living with my mom. And I'd heard people talk about a hope chest. So I loved estate sales. So every time I would go to an estate sale, or I would go to a store and I would find something I really wanted, I would put it in my chest. I actually had one. And I would put everything in there and I would close it up and walk away. And now, knowing people who know me, I had a lot of stuff in there in the end, and I end up having more than just one. However, it's just the point that I set everything up to do that. And then I started moving things out and giving things away that I didn't need anymore, because I'm making room for what it is that I really wanted. And I would just continue to do what I wanted to do. And then I would put in motion, my intention was to purchase a home. Well, one of the things you do when you purchase a home, you tell people, I hired a realtor. But this is the key. Although in the beginning I hired, or I didn't even hire her because I didn't have to pay her money, I contacted a realtor. She took me around to houses even before I really made I guess I really did make the decision that I wanted the home, but I knew I didn't have any money. And I just wanted to be in the energy to see what's out there. That's exactly what I did. I just wanted to see what was out there. But my gut was, I really want a home. Again, I still had no idea where this money was going to come from for me to get the home. But she would take me to house to house to house. She would email me houses and I would sit and I would read and I would look. And then all of a sudden, magic started to happen. And an agency came upon me and said, or I came into the knowledge of an agency that was able to help me. And I didn't have to put down the down payment for my home. I didn't have to buy furniture for my home. I didn't, and the woman even left me stuff, including money, in my home. It's just, but prior to all that, I had written it down. I drew out pictures of exactly what I wanted. So everything just kept, just as energy does, it just kept getting hotter and hotter and hotter until finally, voila.
Yeah, action, reaction.
It was an action reaction.
Just like we talked about this morning. But that's, that's one of the things we integrate within the training, some of the training we do. It's like we find a lot of this in Neville's Power of Awareness, the law of assumption.
Yes.
And you're doing that. Well, if I'm a homeowner and that's my intention, what would a homeowner be doing right now? Well, if I don't have a home, what I would be doing is looking for one. All right. I don't have to know the how, but I would look and I would find one, right? And that's what you did.
I did.
If I'm a homeowner, well, I have to look for one that I can call my home. So you just do it. Everything else, I mean, we kind of did that, we almost gave up. We said we have to move from renting to homeowners, and we were like, no, we're not until we're right on the Gulf. Now we ended the best of both worlds. We go right here, we're on the Gulf of Mexico. Right there, we go to that sliding door wall. We're on the Intercoastal Waterway on the south. So we ended up getting the best of both worlds, and it's just amazing. We would have never thought that could happen like that.
Absolutely.
But it's like, as soon as we released, we were driving from looking at something that was almost an hour away, would have probably been 2 hours in traffic. We're around the Air Force Base.
It would have been horrible too.
Yeah.
I think I would have been
and we said,
miserable.
you know what, let's just rent for another year, because we were putting offers in and they were,
They were just going like
out.
this.
People were offering 20% more than the ask. It's crazy. So we just finally released it, let it go, said it's not going to happen. We said, let's just look and feel before we go home at that one place we looked at a couple times. Let's just go, it's probably way out of our range, but let's just go see how we energetically feel walking in. I walked in the door, didn't
I
even
did.
walk through it again. I turned it to Tene. I said, let's just get it. It's ours. Let's just do it. And
Yeah.
and Tene was like, okay.
Well, because we felt it. It's like you walked in.
We
It
went
was
by
just
the
the same
energy.
thing. It
That's
was
why I
like,
say
it's just
feeling
no
into
mis
results.
it's no mistaking it. You wonder, well, how did you know? You opened the door, really, before we opened the door, it was through the gate, and you
Okay.
just felt it.
This is great from Jan. She says, I'm seeing my property in northern Minnesota.
Okay.
I've asked the universe to bring me the right buyer.
Mm.
Any suggestions? So you're seeing your property in northern Minnesota not to purchase, but to sell. So I'm guessing that you have property. I think I know a little bit about you going back and forth, that you have property in Minnesota and you're ready to release it now to the right and perfect buyer. I think that's correct, right? So you have to, it's the same thing. Um, you have to energetically be in that state of gratitude that it's happened.
Mhm.
You know, I remember going through and teaching a lot of Mary Morris's material,
Oh, yes.
and Mary and her husband at that time selling a house when they just weren't selling, and they just went into it. It only takes one, and what if it's easy?
Hmm.
Now, it doesn't matter if it's been on the market forever.
It doesn't.
You just have to be in the energy, the present tense. And I know you know a lot of this, Jan, and you just have to be in that energy of, I am so happy and grateful that my property was sold to the right and perfect buyer at the right and perfect price. You have to be in that energy right there every day. Not, I wonder if it's going to sell. No counter intention.
And you know what I would add? I would add just what I did, not knowing what I was doing, but then Neville is excellent. He supported exactly what happened. It's the thank you. So she should probably take her keys and almost really
Well, it's property. She
repetition.
probably doesn't have keys.
Mm. Well, then pay a piece
Maybe
of
she
paper,
does.
the deed or whatever it is, and just saying thank you for purchasing this, or you're now you're now the owner of it, whatever it is, but she has to act from the end. It's like law of assumption, just what we were talking about. She's got to put herself in that place because she wants the right and perfect buyer because she's selling it. So she just has to put herself in that energy of handing over all of the material that she has to hand over, signing the documents, handing it all over to whomever.
Yeah, so you already have the intention
Or
and
saying
the why.
congratulations.
Okay, it
Maybe
has a
that's it.
cabin and a guest cottage on it.
All right, just
So
say
it's a cabin and
congratulations.
a guest cottage in northern Minnesota. And I know that's as beautiful
I
as
bet it
northern
is.
Michigan.
I bet it is.
Minnesota's license plate has on it, the land of 10,000 lakes. And
Mm.
I said, well, you know, we got a lot here in Michigan. So I did the research and we have over 12,000 in Michigan. But anyway, I mean, that's just beautiful, beautiful area. And you know, you started it in motion here. You put it out there. And
Imagine
the
herself
universe
saying
has ears though too.
congratulations. Yeah.
So here, you know, Jan, I'm so happy and grateful. Last time I even knew you had property for sale, you came to a live thing that Tene and I were doing together, and you put in the comments section that you had some property with a cabin on it in northern Minnesota that you wanted to sell. Congratulations. I saw that you sold that property. Kudos to you. It starts that way with that energy. So I want to applaud you for moving into the energy of it being a done deal. We assume that it's a done deal. And we vision it. Tene said, bring that vision. We think in pictures. The
Yes.
universe responds to our thoughts and our energy. If we are in a state of counter intention, worrying about, well, what am I going to do if it doesn't sell? How long does this take? The universe hears, well, how long does what take? Oh, it's got to take long. That's, you
Right.
know, that's what it hears. The universe has ears and knows. But if it's intention and the energy of intention, and put a date on yours too.
But you know what I would do also with her? I mean, these are all great things, and she can combine them or pick and choose one or two of these ideas. I would go up to the cabin and then there, because everything is that energy shift. The intention is to sell it and give it away. Sell it to someone, give it to someone else. As she's closing up the house and she's putting things away and she's selling things or getting it in preparation, staging it for whoever's coming to see it, as she drives away,
Release it.
release it. Don't look back like, oh, my home, I'll see you next time. Release it.
Yeah, and you know what? I want to examine something. You brought up a real good point because I had property in northern Michigan on hi Laura, Larry Tremonti is my best friend from childhood. His daughter on here. Congratulations on your second child, Laura. I had a place right on Houghton Lake in northern Michigan, and then later on a log cabin across the street from Lake Huron. Always, I always got to be on water.
Yes.
But see, there's something inside of me in both places. Now, I see if Midge is on here. Midge and her partner Val at the time, they come to a lot of these things. They sold my house at Houghton Lake, but see, I didn't want to let go of it. I had to sell it. That was back in the 2007, 2008, that financial crisis that we had. And I was going to go from a $700 a month payment to over $1,600 in the blink of an eye. So I had to sell it, but I did not want to release it. I ended up doing a short sale on it. Probably wouldn't have had to, but it didn't say, I emotionally, you got to examine that.
That is huge.
And if there's something in you that really does not want to let it go, that's where you got to do the work. Remember, I'm a metaphysician. We look at cause and effect.
You are absolutely right.
And we can set the intention, but emotionally we can have a counter intention as well. I love that place. I don't want to sell it, but I want to get this big motorhome or yacht, and I want to travel the world that way, but I have to get rid of that to do that. Well, maybe you don't. Maybe the intention is the motorhome or yacht. I'm not saying that's what you want to do, but sometimes it doesn't have to be an either or. Sometimes it can be a lease that covers what you want to do. But just make sure that you check in emotionally if there's anything in there. Sometimes there's things I don't really want to sell it because
that emotion
it's been in the family forever.
That emotion is the intention. Your intention is to keep it. That the emotion is telling you, you're telling yourself, I don't want it. I don't want to go. I don't want to let it go. I don't want to go, or whatever it is. And so it's like it's stopping you. It's almost like a rubber band expands.
Well, it's like we know we want to go through this door over here because it holds everything we want behind that door. There's our new car, our new home, our new, more money, more this. But this door over here, we have to shut it. The wind's blowing, all the debris flying around, everything we don't want's over there. But we're holding on to that doorknob so it doesn't slam shut. We won't let that door close. Right?
So the other one will.
So we can take both hands and open this one. Say, yeah, this is what I want. I'm coming in now. We can't go in through this door if we won't let that other one shut because we're still holding on to it, right?
Exactly.
Hey, you know what? We've been on almost an hour here.
Oh my gosh, we gotta go.
We don't want to. Yeah, I know. Hey, our intention, everybody, is to provide a tremendous amount of value. We are passionate about personal and professional development.
We are.
We train on over 100 topics. We do keynote speaking, lunch and learns. We do day-long workshops in a corporate environment. But what the work that we love to do is with you guys, with individuals that say, yeah, I want to make a commitment to working with you guys. We have a flagship 6-month program that is just phenomenal. You'd be working with us and Bob Proctor and Sandy Gallagher and some other people, just amazing. And so we're always willing to have a conversation about that. If you want to talk to Tené, you can get right on Tené's calendar by going to Tené, Tene.VIP, Tene.VIP, or you can get on my calendar at successappointment, all one word, .com. Successappointment.com, Tene.VIP. Our calendars open up in your time zone. We just have a conversation. We do 3 things on calls when we talk to somebody because we set an intention. Our intention for these calls is to to help you identify, if you haven't already, what you really, really, really want. Number two, we help you to see where you are stuck. Why hasn't it happened yet? Why are you not living the experience that you would love to live? Number three, we set you on your way with a definite plan that'll move the needle in your life. Whether it's coming on board with us or not, doesn't matter. We love doing these discovery calls with people all over the world. So that's out there. We're just throwing that out there. And hey, love doing this. We're going to do it every Friday so you can get used to this time slot.
Yes.
Laura, if you're still out there with us, please say hi to Larry for me, Larry and Cindy for me. Jan, love to talk with you more. Hope some of that helped. I have more ideas as we go along.
What's the name of your book again?
Untangled, my personal story.
Oh,
So people
very
go
nice.
look for that. I'm going to go look for that.
I am
I think
too.
I have, maybe I have an advanced copy. So I remember looking at and Jan reaching out about all that.
Okay.
Just sorry, so busy, but for sure. Untangled, my personal story, Jan Nielsen. You want to grab that. And want to thank Roseanne and JJ for the excellent question. And we're going to keep doing this. And you know what we're going to do? We roll out another 6-month deal in about 2 weeks or so.
Yes.
So we're going to probably invite some people in to be a bug on the fly on the wall or do something around that. So stay tuned. We got some exciting stuff going on. And when we come back on next week, we kind of rushed in because it was our chamber meeting, but let's do some giveaways with our gratitude journal and things like that next time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for looking in. If you weren't here this whole time, I think we provided a lot of value, but I'm a little bit biased. You can go back and listen to it. We're going to leave this up on Facebook, and I'm going to make sure it's on all the channels that we participate in. I got this thing being recorded right now, so we'll make sure it's out there so you can look in it again if you found some value in it. Hopefully you've inspired to take some action as we begin this new year. Remember, today is the first day of the rest of your life, and you can be, do, and have it all when you decide what that is and you commit and set the intention to doing that. So this is
Tené Cosmina.
and Dr. Cause and Effect. Listen to my podcast, The Genesis Frequency, and we'll see you here in the same place next Friday. Thanks for looking in. Catch our videos during the week. Catch Morning Inspiration during the week, and we'll see you all soon. God bless.